Hi everyone, I hope you are doing well. Welcome to Unit 5, Lesson 2, Adding and Subtracting Radicals. So this is going to be an extremely quick lesson, but also the whole unit, okay? We skipped most of it. They're high school standards. They're things that you don't need yet, but we're going to get the basics of it. We'll do the first couple lessons, and then you'll take a very quick test on it, and then we'll move on to Unit 6. Okay, so keep that in mind. So for Unit 5, Lesson 2, we're adding and subtracting radicals. Okay, so just as a review, this would be an example of a radical. All right, so the number underneath the symbol is called the radicand, or sometimes called the root. Okay, so those are important, especially one, just to know your vocab when we're talking about certain things, but also on your test. Okay, and then this symbol here is called the radical. Okay, and then this is called the coefficient. Sometimes the coefficient can be referred to as a radical as well. So that's important to know. And then every once in a while, depending on what we're wanting to do, so if there's no number right here, like sometimes there might be like a little itty bitty number, like right inside that little check mark of the radical, and it might tell you what to do, like if it was a 2, then we would know we're looking for the square root. If it's a 3, we're looking for the cube root, and so on. And this is referred to as the index. Okay, so sometimes that pops up. I don't think you're really going to see it, at least in these lessons, but it's still a good thing to know. All right, in order to add or subtract radicals, the radicand, so this number here, must be the same. Okay, so the way I want you to think about it, I want you to think about it kind of like variables. Like if you have x's and y's, like I could say x plus x, and then I would have 2x, right? I have 2 x's. But if I have x plus y, I can't combine those any more than they're already combined. So this would be completely simplified. All right? I want you to think like that when we're adding and subtracting radicals. Now things change when you're multiplying and dividing with them, but for adding and subtracting, think of them like variables. Okay, so I have a few examples here. They'll go quick. They're all, let's see, the first two are from your practice, and then the second two are from your quick check. Okay? So this first one, 2 times the square root of 8 plus 3 times the square root of 8. Well, if we think of these like x's, right, if we had 2x plus 3x, we would have 5x, or in this case, we have 5 times the square root of 8. And that's it. That's your answer. Okay? So that would be that one. And then, now technically, we could simplify it further. Let me check just to make sure. And I should have done this before I started recording. But let me check real quick to make sure it doesn't simplify it even more, because technically there's one more step we could take, but I don't want to confuse us. No, okay, this is how it's left in your practice, okay? So with this second one, square root of 31 plus the square root of 31, well, if they were x's, it'd be like x plus x, right? And so then we have 2x, or in this case, we would have 2 times the square root of 31, and that's it. Okay, this next one, and it's kind of hard to see, but hopefully you can tell I wrote a little 3 right there. So this would be like the cube root of 22 plus 3 times the square root of 22 plus the square root of 22. So because this one is looking for a cube root, it is technically different than like these two. These two radicals are the same. This one is different because it has that little 3. So this can just stay the same as the cube root of 22 plus, and then we have basically 3 square roots of 22 plus 1 square root of 22, right? Even though there isn't a 1 right there, we can kind of treat it like that. Like, how many do you see? You see one of them, right? So there will be 4 times the square root of 22. And that would be your final answer on that one. Okay? So, let's see here. Hopefully that helps. And then let's get into that final one. This one's with subtraction. We haven't talked about subtraction yet, but you'll see it throughout your lesson as well as on your practice. But this is number 4 on your quick check. So we have 8 times the square root of 23 minus the square root of 23. You might be tempted to just say 8, right? But that's not the correct answer. Just like up here, how I added this 1 in here, really it's like saying I have 8 square roots of 23, and I'm taking 1 away. So now I have 7 times the square root of 23. Okay? So, and that's it. That's what you're doing today. I've already done almost half your work for you. So hopefully that helps. And as always, if you have more questions, let me know.